Hi, so I'm going to talk about an album called Days of Optimism. Sorry for the bad recording today, because this is the only place I can do it right now. I'm currently in the process of moving somewhere, so I have limited options of where I can be right now. So why would I decide to make a video about this when the album came out in 2021? Well, that's because I just thought about it today, because today was 2 years since I released my first song under my name, because Days of Optimism wasn't under my name. Well, how come? Well, I just wanted to make an album that was like an experiment. Like, I just wanted to release something, and so that's what it was, Days of Optimism. It was my days of optimism when I was first writing songs. And it was released on December 22nd, 2021, although it wasn't supposed to be that late, but I had a horrible distributor at the time that only allowed me to do that. Like, they needed a month notice or something, or like months notice. So, yeah, it was not what I wanted. I wanted it to be released in November, but that's not how it was. So I since have switched to a different distributor, which is way better. You may know it of the name as DistroKid, in which I established my own record label, which is just not really a record label. It's just something that I do release stuff on. So I'll just try to talk about some of the tracks on here, but my recording device is messed up, and I don't have my phone right now because it's also messed up. So I'll just have to try to remember what songs are on it. And just telling you the truth, I haven't listened to this hardly at all, so I don't know if I'll remember everyone. I remember there's 15 songs, but really 11 songs. So the first song I know is Sounds of Yesterday. And by the way, I did look at this earlier, so that's the only reason why I might remember. Sounds of Yesterday. Well, what are Sounds of Yesterday? Who knows why it's called that? And it's not a very good song, honestly, and it doesn't matter to me, really, that I'm being hard on this album, because like I said, it was supposed to be just an experiment. It wasn't really supposed to be something that was like my best work or something. But that one, I can tell you, was inspired by the song Never Young by Harry Connick Jr. So I don't really have much to say about it. And already I'm not sure what the next song is on the album. I'm not quite sure. But I'll just say other ones that I know are on it. There's a song called Square One on there, which it was actually released. The only song that was released before the album. It was a single. So I guess it was really my first single on Spotify, which it's not a song, really. If you hear it, it just repeats the same thing over and over. I was just kind of messing around with layering and editing, which I wasn't very familiar with at the time. Still not that familiar with. So Square One, it was really what I felt like I was at. I'm at Square One, so there you go. Then there's another song called When I Was Born, I Heard This. That one, well, the reason why I called it that is because I was messing around on my keyboard and I ran across these like funny sounds. And to me, it kind of reminded me of some kind of like 2005 hip hop type of thing. So that's why I called it that. Like when I was born, I heard this. But even though it's not really a song or a good song, it's one of my favorite ones to think about on there um, because of the music video. For the music video, I just had my brother and sister dancing to it, and it's funny because my sister Isla picked up a tambourine and was like hitting it, like, and she just added that in. I didn't even tell her to do that, so I like that. And then what else? Street Style. There's a song called Street Style on there, which apparently I thought that was the style of the street. But once again, was attempting to be more Conic influenced, because Harry Connick Jr. was a big influence for me and someone that I still really am inspired by, but especially then, in those days, 2020, 21. And that's what that song's supposed to kind of be like, almost like me thinking like of a fun sort of song. But the main problem with that song is, and a lot of them, is that the layering didn't turn out right. So things don't line up, if I remember correctly. Like, I'm trying to have a tambourine for percussion, which I don't know how to play a tambourine, but I just grabbed one. And so I don't think that really worked out well. There's a song called Year 6 on the album, and it's a bad song. It's my least favorite song on the album. The reason why is I just thought, hey, I know how to play the violin. I'll have a violin song on here. But the truth is, I can play the violin, but not super well. I mean, I guess I'm okay at it because I was able to get into the Virginia Tech Philharmonic, but anyone that knows how I play knows that I have some things that I need to work on, mostly my bowing. So no, I definitely then wasn't as good on it, and so I kind of cringe when I listen to that song. So yeah, just go ahead and delete that one off your playlist. I might delete off Spotify eventually. It'll just be a deleted song from the album. There's a song called Route 288. Route, however you want to say it. 288. Well, if you happen to be from Virginia, you might know where that road is. And it happened to be a road that every day of the week, pretty much, at one point, I rode down that thing in the morning at like 6:30 a.m. north to south. And always, I just felt, I was so tired. And I would just watch the sunrise. A lot of times it would be rising when I would go over the James River. And there was a sort of serene feeling that came over me, calm feeling. And I wanted to make a song to capture that. I'm in fact on the guitar for that song, but I don't play the guitar. I mean, I kind of can play it, but like not really. The thing that's a little bit messed up about me playing the guitar is that I'm left-handed, so I feel like when I have played it, I've tried playing it both ways, but it just seems messed up because when you play the violin, it's like this. Well, I don't know, this video might be mirrored, but you do this, so this is my left hand and this is my right hand, and you're like this, no matter what hand you use. So in the first place, when I started learning violin, that was hard, and maybe that's why that it's hard for me to bow, because most people that bow with their dominant hand, but it almost seems like I would do this, but that's not something you can do. By the way, I'm sorry that the lighting is kind of weird on this video. This is just such horrible quality. I'm looking at the screen right now. This makes me look so weird, but sorry about that. Anyways, that's why the guitar doesn't really work for me. But I played it on that song, and you know, I had some problems on that song because it gets distorted and like almost explodes your speakers at some parts. So maybe don't turn on that one either. A song called Dulcimer on there. That's the best one, but you want to know why? It's because it's a cover. It's not, the original song isn't actually called that, though. It doesn't have a name. The song was written by my dad, and he wrote it on the dulcimer. That's why I call it that. He would play that song a lot, and specifically around when I was like 7 or 8, I think. And so I just asked him to play that, and I recorded him playing it like years after he had probably even played it. And I just learned it on the piano. So that's what dulcimer is. So then there's a song called The First Time In. The First Time In is split into 4 parts, and I did that just because, I don't know, I just kind of, I wrote that, you know what, I think I should probably mention that all of these songs are improvised. Like, every one is the first time I played it. So that's another thing that's bad about this album. So same thing with this song, First Time In. So everything that you're hearing is the first time I'm playing it. It's almost as if I'm just playing something random for the first time. And it was split into 4 parts, and the reason why I called it that is it was like really the first time that I actually felt like I was just letting myself free, which is a cool thing for you to do. Even if I don't think it sounds that good now, it was a big thing for me then. So I'm not ashamed of this album. I just know it's not really an album, but I think it's cool to think about that was the first time in. The last song on the album is called Days of Optimism. And it was the first one that was recorded, and it's the only one that's recorded on an actual piano and not a keyboard. And what piano that was a 1980 player piano that I had. Well, actually, I still have it, but that somebody gave to me for a very good price, that I bought when I was 15. And when I say a really good price, I mean, I think it was like $100, which is a very good price. And fortunately, my family members were willing to move that into a garage, which it's very heavy if you don't know how those are. And that song is a kind of fun one to listen to. I like it pretty good. And so, you know, that's pretty much it. Days of Optimism. It was released under the name of Class of 23 if you are interested in hearing it, although maybe one day I will transfer that to being released under my name. But anyways, that might be about it that I have to say about it. If you're wondering why I did start releasing under my name, it's because I actually felt like what I had was something I wanted that was worthy being under my name. And that was Do You Look, which I released the next year. So that's really all I have to say about this album. And there you go. Hope you learned something new.